Good morning, Chairperson, distinguished gathering, and my fellow presenters. I am taking this opportunity to thank Sir John Kotalawala Defence University for the opportunity they have given us as young presenters to present our first presentation. And today my topic will be Right to Education under Sri Lankan Law in Ensuring National Security, a comparative study. Actually, before going to the introduction, I have to say that my presentation is going to travel in two parts. That means one is rights-based approach, and in another part will be travel on a path that is merely on sociological aspects. So those two parts will connect somewhere else. The speciality of the presentation is one is rights-based approach and another one is sociological approach. Those both will connect in one place. Okay. The dominant power of 21st century will depend on human capital. The failure to produce that capital will undermine security of a state. That is obvious. Presently, question of national security is dominating most of the countries. Sri Lanka in this post-conflict era, as a country which is in its post-conflict era, is facing national security issues. So, objective of my research is going to be, in this post-conflict era of Sri Lanka, national security has to be addressed through all necessary pillars. Objectivity of this research is to address the ways to enhance national security and to produce a human capital which can help to enhance national security. Being a third world developing country, our political and socio-economic conditions has showing the importance of national security and the importance of protecting national security. There cannot be development in the country without adequate national security measures. But due to several reasons, this development has been handicapped. I am presenting through my research those main ideas, and I will give some productive recommendations. Issues to be addressed in my presentation are: in Sri Lanka, can education be the factor that can foster genuine peace and national security? If the answer is yes, is free education available in Sri Lanka from kindergarten to higher education? If the answer is also yes, are the contents of the education system sufficiently addressing the issues of national security? Can right to education guaranteed under the Constitution of the Sri Lanka under directive principles are justiciable? And whether the right granted through Constitution is helping to ensure the national security of Sri Lanka? And the main point is, as I said, rights-based approach. Is it difficult to claim education as a fundamental right? What is right to education? Before moving to the topic, we need to know what is right to education. According to international standards, Article 26 of the United Nations, Article 26 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, and Articles 28 and 29 of the United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child, and Articles 13 and 14 of the International Covenant on Economic, Social and Cultural Rights are guaranteeing right to education. It is evident that education enables human beings to progress on their own initiative, and it plays a vital role in promoting empowerment, human rights, promoting democracy and protecting national security. Education is an essential right to achieve their highest level of dignity of each respective countries. Consequently, the right to education is regarded as an essential right that enables human beings to promote and enjoy another right. it is explicit that throughout the world, most of the countries are providing compulsory general education on a free and equitable basis and launching suitable programs to meet these basic needs. Right to education has been guaranteed, as I said previously. Right to education has been guaranteed in several international instruments. The right was originally expressed in the terms of Article 26 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. It says everyone has the right to education, and the education shall be free at least in the elementary and fundamental stages. And if we move into the domestic standards, according to the international standards, we saw that right to education should be given in an equitable basis. Then how it is going to be implemented, or how it is implemented in domestic standards. Sri Lanka, under Chapter 4, Article 27 of the Constitution, and by judicial activism through doctrine of equality, expressly and impliedly accepted the right to education. The Constitution of Sri Lanka states that the complete eradication of illiteracy and the assurance to all persons of the right to universal and equal access to education at all levels is one of the directive principles of the state policy and the fundamental duties of the state. The Education Ordinance number 31 of 1939 as amended, and the regulations concerning administrative issues, circulars by the Secretary to the Education Ministry. Next, if we are going to connect right to education with national security, our next question will be, what is national security? Actually, national security have no defined definition, because according to the perceptions, according to the situations, national security may vary. It can be national security, in some places it can be individual security, in some places it can be human security. So, there is no defined definition for national security, but generally national security is focused on safeguarding the country's sovereignty and territorial integrity. But we have to keep in mind that national security is not a private good. That is a public thing. That means that is not only owned by government, it is owned by each and every individual of a country. Priority of the security of the state and its sovereignty and territorial integrity are the main views of national security in international relations theory, according to Jervis. When we move to the key point or the main point of the research, education as a tool to enhance national security. The connection between national security and right to education will be discussed further. As I said earlier, the dominant power of 21st century will be human capital. To produce such a human capital, right to education has to be focused, and right to education has to be given in a way to enhance national security. This is true not only because citizens empowerment through education, that means first pillar I am going to discuss, firstly I am going to discuss citizens empowerment through education. Education should, as I said earlier, as a sociological aspect, I wish to include this citizen empowerment through education. Citizens should empowered through education. This is true not only because education is an entry point to other opportunities, but also because the educational achievements of the students as future leaders can assist in spreading knowledge about national security, which will be helpful peace within the family and across the generation. As I said, Sri Lanka is guaranteeing right to education from kindergarten to higher education. So, if we develop the knowledge about national security, knowledge about sustainable development, knowledge about democracy from the kindergarten, that will definitely help to build peace within the family and across generations. Next point will be awareness through education. As our chairperson said, education without awareness is not valuable. So, awareness should be given through education. Awareness through education, national security awareness can be designed in several ways. Can be designed to meet several objectives. Primarily, an awareness program should promote and facilitate the understanding of the national security concerns of a country. In this regard, the education system has to be structured in a way to educate both students and the society to ensure national security. An effective awareness through education can be restore and promote the confidence about the present security system of Sri Lanka. According to the present situation, normally the people in war affected area have some kind of they are having some doubts about effectiveness of national security system. So, it will help to prove that we are having a strengthened national security system in war affected areas too. Next one will be cultural understanding, respect and social cohesion through education. That means reconciliation through education, that is most valuable. First of all, to deal with this aspect, this sociological aspect, we need to focus what is culture. Culture is defined as a system of shared values, beliefs and rituals that are learned and passed on through generations of families and social groups. One's own culture is often taken for granted, not examined, and accepted as the norm. This means we are often not aware of the filter through which we are looking. Actually, we belongs to separate cultures, separate religion. We have separate cultures, but we are not aware about the culture of other community. We are not aware of the religion and religious rituals about of other communities. This is happened because the non-awareness about the religion and culture. So, through the education system, awareness about culture has to be enhanced. As Sri Lankans, individually we are culture oriented, and it is obvious in our social and cultural interactions. Because understanding between cultures, religions and races will strengthen our nation's national security. Normally, understanding about cultures will not only affect the perception of individuals, but the perception of whole society. The hatred minds will be changed. Hatred minds will be changed, and it will help us to move into a peaceful society. My recommendations will be the role of 3 organs of government is necessary to enhance national security through education. As we see earlier, according to chapter 4 article 27, we are having we are guaranteed right to education, but it is not justiciable because it is falling under directive principle. But our judiciary is playing a vital role to enhance right to education through through their judicial activism, and legislatures should try to enact legitimate legislation to enhance right to education as well as through executive. As a concluding point, I want to say merely ensuring the right to education with classic education and skills will not be sufficient to establish national security in Sri Lanka in the post-conflict era to overcome the challenges of sustainable development. In today's globalized world, it is important to educate an open-minded, culturally sensitive and intellectually engaged civil society that can in turn have some substantial impact on global politics and help decision makers to find innovative and lasting solution to national security issues. I want to conclude with the quotation of Nelson Mandela: education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. We can change the world, we can change the national security concerns of Sri Lanka by education. Thank you.